This week, I'm going to share with you the two essential parts of a pretext call. If you're making calls over the phone, pretext calls, you need both of these elements. And I'm going to also share with you, if you don't have one or the other of these elements, a source that you can use to get information that can supplement or even replace pretext information a lot of times. Hi, this is Larry Kaye with ShadowAnyone.com. I'm the creator of the Investigator's Ultimate Guide series, which is premium private investigator training from someone who's been there and done that. You need two elements when you're making a pretext call by phone. One, you need the magic number. You need to know what phone number to call in order to get the information you want. Number two, you need to be able to speak the language of the person or entity you're calling, the business, the company, whatever it might be. So, a classic example is if you were going to pretext a cable company, trying to get, say, the address for an account holder, somebody, a skip that you're looking for. Maybe you got to serve process on them. Maybe it's a witness interview. I don't know. So there's two things. Who do you call at the cable company and how do you speak to them? You have to have both of these just right. If you're calling and posing as a line repair tech out in the field, you got to call the right number. If you call customer service, they're going to be like, why are you calling me? And, maybe you can make this work. Maybe you can ease into your pretext a reason, and it's easy enough to do. But then you also have to speak the language. So if you ask for, the subscriber's address, that may not be language that they're used to hearing. Why are you asking that? If you ask for the service address, that may be what they're looking for, or vice versa. But you need both the number to call and the language. And this goes for any place. If you're trying to pretext a subscription department for a periodical, if you're trying anything, you got to have those two elements. If you need to get information, but you're not good at pretext, not comfortable with pretext, don't want to use pretext for it, here's a great reason to skip using a pretext. Your client won't allow it, especially if you're working for law firms. They don't necessarily want you showing up on the stand and under cross-examination, having it come out, how did you locate this person? How did you know who to call? They said their mom was getting calls, whatever it might be. Your client may not want pretext because it seems pretty skeevy when it comes out in testimony in court. How do you avoid pretext? How do you get information without it? You should know me by now. I've been here for nearly 9 years online, which is almost as long as I was a licensed private investigator owning and running my own agency. If you know me, public records is the key. OSINT, open source intelligence, is out there and you can get all sorts of information. But within OSINT, there is this specialty niche of public records. Couldn't be simpler, couldn't be easier. So if you need information on something about a person, my favorite one to talk about, and I've talked it to death, is police runs, police records. All sorts of things there are easily accessible to you. No pretext, no lie. You don't have to be sneaky about it. And that information is going to be admissible in court. I'm not a lawyer, I'm just saying. And it's just not going to seem to a jury to be sneaky or scummy the way you might be perceived getting information through a pretext. I do have the public records mini course, and you can check that out over at ShadowAnyone.com. I'm just so tickled with it, and it has served me so well over the years. Made me so much money, got me so much information where other investigators hit a dead end. And nowadays with the social media, people can be pretty darn good. Even your clients, if you get hired off the street, can be pretty darn good with social media searches. And when that comes to a dead end, or your person doesn't have an account, or it hasn't been used in years, you switch over to public records and you are going to seem psychic to the person, to your client, because you're going to be able to get all sorts of information that just eluded everybody else. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, drop them in the comments. I'd love to hear from you, and I'll address as many of them as I can. In the meantime, this is Larry Kaye with ShadowAnyone.com. Remember, do the right thing, even if it's the hard thing.